Hello there, welcome to Picture This New Media. My name is Halal Ernie, and today we are going to be going over March 15th, 2023's new comic book day recommendations, things I'm going to be recommending to y'all, uh, and things I've been reading, and things issue number ones we're going to be going over. Also, some skips, things that I'm going to recommend that you skip. So let's go ahead and get started with this first row here. We are starting off with Wolverine, issue number 31, and Hulk number 13. I'm going to skip these two. Let me know if I'm missing out on anything. Next up is Berserk, issue number 12 by Keanu Reeves and Man Kint. We also got Ron Garney and Bill Crabtree working on this comic. Really interesting story, really cool story. I like it a lot. There's been mixed reviews on it, but I really like it. Next up is Miles Morales Spider-Man, issue number 4. Skip it. Skipping this one as well. Justice Society of America. I'm going to be getting House of Slaughter, issue number 13. I highly recommend this one. And it's a really good one. It's it's a prequel to when Jessica became part of the house, and the guy with the cane and his boyfriend. Basically, it's not woke or anything. It's really good. I really like this one from Boom Studios. Next one is Captain Marvel number 47, Hard Pass. Same with Batgirls, issue number 16, Hard Pass. Next up is Noctera, issue number 12. I can't recommend this one enough, by Image Comics. It is absolutely a great concept, great story. The sun has disappeared, and it caused these monsters, zombies that have superpowers because of the darkness. And in order to save off from the sickness, you need UV light, it's absolutely crazy. If you follow a brother and sister, where a brother almost gets infected and almost gets sick, and he's kind of like a half-breed now. It's a really cool story. Highly recommend it. There's a big bad evil in there, and it's great. Next up is Immortal X-Men, issue number 2. Skip it, but it's got part of the Sins of Sinister thing, so if you're into that, it's good enough for you, but not for me. Next up is Gunslinger Spawn, issue number 18. It's only $2.99 by Image Comics. It's got a great little story in there from one of the coolest comic book heroes that I like. And here's one of my models that I've got of him. Little things. I put them together yesterday. Well, took them out of the box anyways. Next up is Avengers Forever 15. Skip. Gold Goblin. Skip. I did hear some interesting stories about this one, but I'm gonna skip it anyways. It's not my scene. Next up by DC Comics is Superman Lost, issue number 1, book 1, Blink. Superman's Odyssey of Solitude. After Superman is called away on a routine Justice League mission, Lois Lane awakens to find a complete stranger standing in her living room. The Man of Steel, home much sooner than expected, reveals he has in fact been lost in space for 20 years. Nothing and no one seem familiar to him anymore, and the timeless bond between them has been severed, or has it? Can love conquer all? Doesn't sound like something that's gonna interest me, but looks like people are liking it. It's a good writer, I'm guessing. I don't know. It doesn't look interesting to me. We'll see how it goes with the reviews, but I'm going to skip it. Let me know if I'm missing out on this one though. Next up is Captain America, Symbol of Truth, issue number 11. Skip. Star Wars Yoda. Skip. Little Monsters, I am going to skip, but I highly recommend it. I am far behind, but I'm waiting to get the trade paperback. Next up is Danger Street, issue number 4 by DC Comics. I highly recommend this one. It's really good. I'm skipping it because I didn't get it from the beginning, but yeah, it's something I regret not getting. Next up is The Last Ronin by Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, issue number 2. I'm skipping it, but it might be good for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fans, so I'll recommend it to them. Next up is Lazarus Planet and Revenge of the Gods, issue number 1 by DC Comics. After the events of Lazarus Planet, the gods of the multiverse have decided to take down the heroes they once called champions in the world they sworn to protect. For years, the gods sat idle atop mountains as their legends fade into obscurity along with their bodies. Now is their time to remind the selfish mortals of their existence and take back the world with something more powerful than belief, fear. Only the brave heroes, Wonder Woman, Shazam, stand in their way, but will their combined powers be enough? Sounds cool enough, but just something that I'm not interested in. Seems like Lazarus Planet and Sinister, they both got a connected plot going on. Just not catching my attention. Next up is Secret Invasion by Marvel Comics. I'm going to skip. The Walking Dead Deluxe, issue number 59. I'm going to skip. Red Goblin by Marvel Comics, issue number 2. I am actually going to pull this one, and I'm going to get it if I have the chance. It's really interesting, where the Goblin and Venom kind of teamed up, and it's rather interesting. So yeah, definitely recommend this one, and I'm gonna keep up with it until I don't like it, or until I like it and get all of them. Next up is Batman Incorporated, issue number 6. I'm gonna skip. Wildcats, issue number 5, I'm gonna get, and I highly recommend it. Really good story, really cool what's going on so far. I Hate Fairyland, number 5, I'm gonna skip, or I'm gonna get. Highly recommend it as well. This whole story is a continuation of the first story, and it's really funny, really badass, and really fluffy and cool. Next up is the Avengers War Across Time. Skip. Nemesis Reloaded, I'm going to get and highly recommend. This Mark Miller comic book is really awesome. I only read issue number 1. I haven't quite caught up with number 2 yet, but it's I think it's worth getting issue number 3, judging by issue number 1. Bishop War College, issue number 2, I'm going to skip by Marvel Comics. Next up is Time Before Time by Image Comics. I am going to skip because they no longer carry it at my comic book shop, but I am going to start collecting the trade paperbacks of these ones. An excellent long-running story, and it's just, yeah, I can't recommend this one enough. It's a time-traveling story. It's hard to explain, but if you go to League of Comic Geeks or just look up Time Before Time, they can do a lot better description than I can right now. Next up is Black Cloak, issue number 3. I'm gonna recommend and highly recommend and get. Sorry about that. It's really a really good story. I keep saying I can't explain it, but it has to do with some mysteries, and yeah, I can't explain it. I kind of actually forgot what issue number 1 is all about, but I have read it. I do recommend it. The art is great, the story was great. It sounds embarrassing that I can't remember. Here. The two black cloaks. They're this team. They try to solve a murder of a beloved prince of Kyros, which is the country, the last city in the known world before his murder tips the city into war. The mysteries begin in spectacular triple-length first issue. So yeah, it's definitely worth catching up on everything. Next up by Image Comics is No One, issue number 1. 10 months ago, Richard Roe murders shocked the city of Pittsburgh. In the months since, the killings have sparked a dangerous political movement, copycat killers, and mass vigilantes who still determined to hold the powerful accountable. Not a symbol, not a hero. They could be anyone. They're no one. They're no one. So we got a couple of great creators in there, writers and artists. So yeah, this is definitely something to keep a lookout for, especially if you like the whole superhero vigilante thing. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a good pull, and we'll see how it goes after issue number 1. Next up is image number 11. I am going to skip. But recommend. Next up is Hellcat, issue number 1 by Image Comics. Or Marvel Comics, sorry. She's not here. Leaping from the pages, Hellcat is back. Patsy is back on the West Coast, living in a demon house haunted by the ghost of her mother. When someone close to Patsy's inner circle is murdered, Hellcat becomes the prime suspect. Now Patsy must prove her innocence and evade both police and the supernatural sleepwalkers. To add perils, she faces her demonic ex Damien. Hellstorm shows up, and that's never a good thing. A supernatural superhero's murder mystery. It sounds cool enough. I don't know who Hellcat is, or anybody is. So I don't know. It sounds cool enough, but I don't think it's something I'm interested in. Definitely looks like a Dynamite Entertainment character, but we'll see. We'll see how this goes. I'm not gonna get it, but yeah. Next up is Behold Behemoth, issue number 4. I'm gonna recommend, but I'm gonna skip myself. Haven't caught up with it, and it's something that didn't keep my interest in the beginning, but I did like it. So I just so caught up with a bunch of other stuff. It's just other things kept my interest more. But yeah, I do recommend it. Next up is Batman The Adventures Continue, Season 3. I'm going to skip, but I do recommend it to some OG cartoon Batman people. Multiversity, Harley screws up the DCU. I'm telling you now, I'm going to do a hard pass on this. Harley's back in Coney for a long overdue reunion with old friends, old haunts, and old time machine. You heard right, mysterious benefactor has left Harley a time machine. After giving it about half a second thought, she decided to take it for a joyride. Yeah, not something I'm interested in, but sounds cute enough. There is there's some hate, and yeah, that doesn't look. Yeah, I'm not excited about this at all. Nope. Hard pass. Next up is Darkwing Duck. I'm gonna get and highly recommend, especially for Darkwing Duck fans. Star Wars High Republic Adventures, issue number 3. Now, I've heard mixed reviews on this one. Now, I'm not sure how legit the positive reviews are on this one, but I will recommend it to High Republic fans. I'm not gonna get it though. Next up is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Armageddon Game. I'm gonna recommend to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fans. I'm gonna skip though. Art Brute number 4. I'm gonna recommend. I'm not gonna get it myself though. Next up is the excellent issue number 1 by Marvel Comics. And Social Media Part 1. I know I'm gonna give this one a hard pass. Your favorite celebrity supervillains are back. Zeitgeist is still on a mission to achieve some social media godhood. If you want to read that, go right ahead. I'm not interested in this at all. Next up is The Harrower, issue number 2 by Boom Studios. I am going to pull this one and I'm going to recommend it. It's a really cool series. Something monstrous stalks Jessa and friends with only the light that phones their meager torches against the darkness between a dead signal and dead friends. An unexpected betrayal is the last thing Jessa and Jax need to survive the party house gone to hell. So yeah, they don't believe that this superstitious thing, legend, is real. They tempt it. The cop is in cahoots with summoning it or keeping it fed or something like that. I don't quite remember, but it's a really good series. I highly recommend it, and it's something that I know you'll like, the followers of mine. Next up is Kaya, issue number 6. I am going to skip it. I might recommend it to some fans of mine, but they might not like it. Next up is Batman and Scooby-Doo Mysteries. I'm going to skip it because they stopped carrying it at my comic book shop, but I do recommend it to Batman and Scooby-Doo fans. It's got the original stuff, and especially after the whole Velma incident, I think a nice refresh of them both it's cute. It's cute, especially if you want to get your kids into comics. It's $2.99. You got Batman and Scooby-Doo. It's a nice transition. Next up is All Against All. I'm going to recommend and get if they still have it at the comic book shop. Next up, Star Trek issue number 5. Highly hard pass. Next up is The Forged by Image Comics, issue number 1. It's $5.99, so it's got to be good if I'm gonna get it. The 11th millennium of the rule of Eternal Empress, a squad planet smashing super soldiers find their routine mission to be anything but. These are the Forged. They take no prisoners. I wish I had a better. Looks like it's an oversized book. I'll pull it, see if it's worth it. Next up is Death Dealer. I recommend it to the Opus Comics fans, Frank Frazetta fans. I highly recommend it. It's a really great art, really great story, fantasy. Next up is Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, hard pass. Next up is The Last Barbarians by Image Comics. Highly recommend it. I did like the first one. It was really good, and yeah, I'm gonna keep going. Next up is The Vampire Slayer by Boom Studios. I'm going to skip that one, but I do recommend it to Buffy fans. Image Comics Hexware, issue number 4. Highly recommend. Great story. If you like manga, you're going to like the story of this. A lot of summoning and possessing of souls, possessing electronics. I like it. It's really cool. Next up is Dark Horse Comics Spy Superb. I'm going to skip, but I'll recommend it to Spy fans. Dark Horse Comics usually doesn't disappoint. I say that, but then the next one is Masters of the Universe by Dark Horse Comics. I'm going to do a hard pass on that one. Star Trek Defiant, issue number 1. I'm going to do a pass on that one, but I'll read the description. Someone is killing the gods, but while Benjamin Sisko and the USS Thesis have been facing the threats in the higher cosmos, very real casualties are growing on lower grounds. The true enemy is a man, not a god, and Worf of House Martok has put together his own crew aboard the USS Defiant in the hopes of defeating a dangerous messiah behind a genocidal cult pulling from all eras of Star Trek canon to create something wholly unique. Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna skip. I'm not gonna get this one, but looks like some OG Star Trek fans might like it. Next up is Monarch, issue number 2 by Image Comics. I didn't catch issue number 1 description or anything. Let's see. Tale. Oh, it was the Compton one. Okay, yeah. I'll recommend it, but I'm gonna skip it. Readers and watchers of mine might like this. I'll put it on the want list, but I don't think I'm gonna get it. Next up is Draculina Blood Simple, issue number 2. This was supposed to come out in my comic book shop, but didn't. I do recommend it, and yeah, hope I get it this time. I don't know why it does that. It goes all the way up every time. Next up is Trojan 3 by AWA. I'm gonna pull it. I do recommend it. It might not be the best though, so with caution, especially the art. Next up is Star Trek Resurgence, issue number 5. I'm gonna skip. Miss Meow, I'm gonna skip, but I'm gonna recommend. Some viewers might like that, but I didn't. A little too cheesy for me. DC Comics Looney Tunes, I'm gonna skip. Frank Miller's Pandora, issue number 3, I'm going to recommend, and hopefully I'll be able to get issue number 1. Next up is Killchala by Scout Comics, I'm going to skip. Requested by Whatnot Publishing, I'm going to get and highly recommend. It's really cute story, really great art, fun characters. Yeah, it's great for teenagers too. If you're trying to get teenagers into your comic books, this is a good start because it's a little bit more edgy than the kiddie stuff, but not like overly edgy where you're gonna be like, oh crap, what did I give them? Next up is Billionaire Island, Cult of Dogs. I liked the first issue, but I'm not gonna continue anymore. It's Ahoy Comics. They do really funny stuff, but just not my scene. Next up is By the Horns, Dark Earth, issue number 7. Highly recommend. I'm gonna get it if it's still going on. Next up is Agent World, issue number 4 by Scout Comics. I'm gonna skip. White Savior, I'm gonna recommend, but I'm gonna skip for right now. It is a 4-part miniseries actually, so I might get it. I don't know. We'll see. Next up is Ancient Enemies, the Jinn, Ancient Enemies for Spotlight, the Genie, I forgot. Genies. I can't get the right pronunciation right now. I'm stoned. A mysterious half-human, half-alien creature born from the wreckage of a crashed spaceship. A book reveals his secret origin as he struggles with the alien bright side. His mission to kill the opponent he never met. Written by Kevin Van Hook. This looks really interesting. I might get this one. Let's see what it's like after that. Next up is Eternus by Scout Comics. I'm going to skip, but I'm going to recommend it. It's a rather really cool fantasy comic that I missed out on. Next up is Star Wars by Titan. That's not coming out. Jujutsu Kaisen came out. Make sure to pick that up. Next up is Family Time by Ablaze, issue number 4. I'm going to highly recommend and get, especially if you like anime. Next up is Mad Balls versus Garbage Pail Kids by Dynamite Comics. I'm going to skip. The Nowhere Man, issue number 1 by Bad Kids Press. I don't know if this comic book is going to come in my shop, but Richard is trapped by a spirit world called Dreamtime, a surreal landscape of the subconscious where dreams are real. Follow his journey as he encounters gods, shamans, and other strange, unexpected creatures straddling the fields of action and adventure, introspective literature, and horror. Check out his confident first issue from master storyteller Johnny Bluzit. So yeah, I'll recommend that one if it comes out. Blood Moon Comics. Next up is Van Helsing, Annual Sins of Father, issue number 1. Haunted and hounded by remnants of her family's monstrous legacy, Liesel Van Helsing searches for the one responsible for bringing these new enemies to light, and she has finally found the answer in another family with its own monstrous legacy that wishes nothing less than to end the Van Helsing line. That sounds really cool, actually, so I'm going to get it if I have the funds. Next up is Destiny New York, issue number 13, Hard Pass, Blacktooth Emo Girl. If it comes out in my comic shop, I might get it. Junction Jones, A Corduroy Conspiracy. Let's see. In the derelict slums of the multi-dimensional town of Junction, Mr. Nibs and Junction Jones scour the dangerous alleyways in search of illicit organic material to sell off at the local black market, chop shops, and transmutation garages, until an anonymous tip leads them to the remains of a murdered Earth hobo. The evidence they uncover on the body points to the vast government cover-up, a conspiracy of which they are now inexplicably at the center. Their first instinct, run and hide. But a suspicious maintenance team just so happens to arrive at the same time looking for the same body may hamper that. In the ensuing standoff, Jones decided the best option may be to joke. Will it fall flat or land? Well, thanks for describing the whole thing, but yeah, it sounds cool. I'll give it a chance. I don't think that there's going to be any other ones that are going to be part of my comic book haul, let's see, actually, PP Poo Poo Comics number 69 might be there, by Silver Sprocket. I'm going to skip it, but I do recommend it to people who love the funny stuff. Categories, Zero Conflict, I did not like. I'm going to highly recommend against that one. Comicsology Gramation Punch, issue number 1. This one might show up at my comic book shop. Born on an eclipse, Van Nguyen has the ability to see ghosts that feed off the energy of unsuspecting adults. Unfortunately, being extra makes him target for these evil spirits, but he soon realizes Van can bite back. Sounds cute, but Taylor Esposito is a really cool letterer. I like him, but just not enough to get this comic book. Sorry. But yeah, that's gonna do it here for this recommendations for this comic book haul or comic book week. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope this helped, and I hope I got some good recommendations for you. Definitely recommend this gunslinger stuff though. Alright, thank you so much. Have